Sounds good. The formal introduction. My name is Nigel Chambers for Big Gold Belt Media. Michole, Laila, it's a pleasure, as always, to speak to you two. And we are here to talk about season 3 of BMF. How you two doing today?
We're doing good. It's so good to see you.
It's so good to see you too. And as always, you kill it on screen. And then finally, for me, I've been waiting for you two to light it up together because I want to start right there with
Mm.
we're now starting to see the mother-daughter relationship be featured. And not only just that, but how similar you two are alike. So I want to ask you two, because knowing that the real life Lucille and Nicole have been a part of the development of this, and I've known you two have spent time spoken with them and really been embraced in that Flenory family here. How special and just how authentic was it for you two to really bring their characters to life, knowing y'all had already did the work and it had finally amounted to getting to that point on this show?
I mean, it's amazing to, have the opportunity to bring their life to the screen and be able to communicate with them like every day or, in any moment. Like I can reach out to Nicole, she gets back like immediately, and I can call Miss Lucille and I mean, it's amazing. I don't think I've never had that experience in my life where I was playing a real life character that I can just reach out to at any time. So it's really a pleasure and an honor.
Yeah. How about you, Laila?
It's been amazing to be able to, I mean, everything that Miss Nicole said, just to be able to speak with this real person who is such a major part of the development of the story and the development of the real life happenings. I mean, it's awesome. And then to see her reaction, because
Yes.
here. To me, it's like giving flowers to people, while they're still here. And so it's just for me a great opportunity for me.
Yeah, I gotta say for the record, me and Michole, we've spoken about this before, but thinking about last year premiere, I was basically at tears seeing her and Miss Lucille hug after the premiere and just having that moment, then getting to party mode. So it was like a celebration of flowers to each other, which is the most beautiful thing, because easy we can sit here and give flowers to them, but the fact that they are able to give it back is special. But for the sake of time here, and look forward to seeing you two next week. Let's start some trouble. I'm gonna say two names. And you give me your reactions to it. Maurice and Breeze.
I ain't got nothing to say. Okay. You know what? I'm gonna say this. Right, Miss Thing.
What
Exactly.
Like who? What?
Can you say? I'm so sorry to this man. I don't. He could be walking down the street and I wouldn't know a thing.
Right.
How too similar are you two when you bring up those names, looking at each other as counterparts, and obviously Lucille looking at Nicole, knowing and whatnot? Just talk about those moments really quick, and we'll wrap there.
I would say like I think it's wonderful this season because I think our characters do kind of parallel a lot this season, where we're both, it's like Lucille is like stepping into the world for the first time and seeing things in a new way and all this stuff, and Nicole is, just coming out and seeing herself. So we're both kind of finding our way in this new place and discovering things about ourselves that I think is really beautiful. And sometimes it's hard, we have some rocky moments where it's hard to really appreciate one another's experience and really see that we're having a parallel experience. It takes us some time to get there a little bit, but I think it's a beautiful thing that they put together for us this season.
Well said. Well, as always, Laila's like, I'm always going to give you those eyes. I see you, Mom. I see you. But truly, as always, it's truly a pleasure to talk to you too. And thank you so much for the work you've put on the show and your time today.
Thank you. We appreciate you.
Absolutely. Take care. Coming back with another question for the two of you two. We talked a little bit about earlier about your relationships with your character counterparts in real life, the Nicoles and Miss Lucille. Now that you all have really put in the work now in their characters, bringing their characters to life, also grown that relationship in person, I'm wondering how much creative freedoms and liberties have you now been able to take with these characters to move the story, the series forward?
I mean, for myself, like a lot of times I might like pick up the phone and call Miss Lucille and say, hey, what did you think about this or whatever. Um, but at this point in the game, a lot of times I feel like I have a pretty good hold on who she is. And so I trust my gut and my instincts, like particularly with last season with, what Charles was doing. He was just a hot mess with all this stuff with my best friend. So I was responding, deeply, as I feel like most women would, but I was responding really from my gut because I was mad as hell about it myself. So, some things I felt like I think I got this right now. And the most rewarding thing is when she calls and she's like, you know, I wish you had hit that girl with that pen. Or moments like that, and that makes me feel like, what, I'm on the right track here. And I just love her.
Yeah. How about you, Layla?
I think that for me, I think we all try to keep because we're playing real people and people who are still alive and with us, we try to keep as close to their truth and their authenticity as we can. But here at Howard in acting class, we learn about your own stank as an actor, which my acting teacher Nicole Salter tells us about a lot. You can add your own little stank after you've done all the preparation and the work required to understand your character. You can add your little stank in there. And so, understanding that, I sort of try to play a balance between, having the authenticity of the character, but then saying, okay, what would make sense for the story as well, and for putting the story along and making it as entertaining and as fulfilling for the audience as I can.
Awesome.
And
Thank
then
you so
just
much.
piggybacking on that, it still is, what is really the truth of this scene, and really being honest in the moment with what would come up and how you might express that,
Mhm.
Yes, my last quick question is this relationship between Nicole and Lucille has been one of the few untapped relationships we've seen in the first two seasons of BMF. What does it feel like to finally seem like we're going to get you two's relationship on the forefront, down to the mother-daughter conversation, down to even the little looks that we see between mother and daughter at certain times early on in this season?
I think that I'm really excited for fans to be able to see that. I think especially Black mother-daughter relationships, but I think mother and daughter relationships in general are so sparsely seen on screen on television. And so to be able to see us, exchange looks that only, Black mothers and daughters can exchange and, to have those experiences, those misunderstandings, those discussions you'll see throughout this season is really important, for the mothers and the daughters out there to watch and see themselves and say, okay, well, I'm not alone. At least somebody else understands, this, or I'm seen, in going through these experiences. It's extremely important.
Yeah, I'm like super excited about, us becoming closer, because I think that sometimes maybe people think that Lucille is not as close to Nicole, but I think, she's been hard on Nicole, harder on her than the boys. But I think, there may be this like inside understanding or expectation because she is a female as well. It's like the boys, they get let go, but you kind of hold, onto your girls a little bit tighter, but I think the reality is, like in real life, is that really Nicole is really the anchor. She takes care of Miss Lucille in so many ways, and she sees everything and sees the whole picture on a whole nother level. And so she's really carrying her, I think, in a lot of ways. And I would love for, this new season that we're about to start shooting, that we can really see more of that she is that anchor and really support for her, and Miss Lucille's real gratitude for all of that.